What's up, everyone? I'm your host, DJ Hamilton, and welcome to the DJ Sports Show, the place where we discuss sports, share bold opinions, and have untold stories that make a difference. If you're watching on YouTube, make sure to hit that like, subscribe button, and share anybody you know who loves sports. And listen to any audio platforms we're on. Leave a rating and share anybody you know. We're at the midway point now in the NBA season as we're about to approach the second half of the season, as we're now at the NBA All-Star break. As I'm recording this Sunday, the All-Star game will be later tonight. As I'm recording this currently at 1:05 Eastern time here in New York, which teams just kind of time to assess and summarize who have been some of the top players in the league this season, in a league that's full of talent and a lot of great players. Some of these awards are not as straightforward as others. I just want to give my NBA midseason award predictions. I'm going to go through the Rookie of the Year, Most Improved, MVP, Defense Player of the Year, Coach of the Year. And yeah, I think those are the main six men of the year that I'm going to go through. Clutch Player of the Year, I think it's kind of based on stats and stuff like that. So I'm not really going to give my award prediction for that. But the main six that I just mentioned, those are the ones I'm going to be focusing on today. So without further ado, let's get into my NBA midseason award predictions. What's up, everyone? I'm DJ Hamilton, and you're tuned into the DJ Sports Show, where we give you the latest, greatest, and most exciting sports stories in the world of sports. From interviews to having people's stories heard and told. This is the DJ Sports Show. Let's get it! So the first thing I want to go over is Rookie of the Year. This is going to be a tight race because this year's rookie class has been incredible. From VJ Edgecombe of the Philadelphia 76ers, who balled out in the Rising Stars Challenge, by the way. Shout out to him putting on the show and said he wanted to make Vince Carter proud of selecting him. I love that competitiveness right there from the Bahamian native and VJ Edgecombe. You have Con Knipple from the Charlotte Hornets, who's been balling out. We're going to get into him. And then Cooper Flag of the Dallas Mavericks, who's been balling out as well. My Rookie of the Year pick at this junction of the NBA season is Cooper Flag. He has been amazing. He has been everything as advertised and then some. I knew him since he was young. I knew how great he was defensively and his tenacity, but his offense has catapulted into a stratosphere that most of us never predicted for him, especially this early in his career. He has brought a pillar of hope for a healing Mavericks franchise that is still healing over the loss of Luka Doncic and probably will be for the remainder of his career because they got cheated out of his greatness. And Cooper Flag has come onto the scene and has been doing his thing, showing why he's a generational and transcendent talent and kind of making people forget, oh, okay, we don't have Luka anymore, which hurts. It still hurts. But we have this guy in Cooper Flag who is showing maybe he's not the same playmaker of the level, never will be, of Luka Doncic, but in terms of offensive production, putting points on the board and generating and making his teammates better. He does make his teammates better, not the level of Luka, but he still is a good facilitator, and he'll get better as he continues to grow and gain more reps and more experience. But the fact that he's 19 doing this, and he came to the season at 18, and he's doing record-breaking stuff is incredible. He holds the distinction of being the youngest player to score 40 points in an NBA game, and he's the only teenager in NBA history to have scored 30 or more points in 4 consecutive games. LeBron James didn't do that. Kobe Bryant didn't do that. Kevin Garnett didn't do that. Tracy McGrady didn't do that. Mari Stoudemire, Dwight Howard, all these great guys who came out of high school at young ages, 18 and so, they never achieved this type of stuff that Cooper Flag is doing. It's incredible overseeing. It's transformative. He's on pace to join Michael Jordan and Victor Wembanyama as the only rookies in NBA history to lead their team in at least 4 major statistical categories. And when you watch him, he's initiating the offense. He's getting out there, taking the ball off the glass, pushing out in transition, hitting guys in the corner, running off the pick and roll, finding guys, dumping to the rim. And he's also has a nice mid-range game. He had this nice Dirk one-legged fadeaway against the Charlotte Hornets when he broke the single game scoring record for a rookie with 49 points, going to his left, fading away on the left elbow at one leg, looking like Dirk. I'm like, the fact that you have that in your arsenal at only 18, 19 years old is berserk. That takes some people years to develop, and he already has that in his repertoire. Flag has been everything we hyped him up to be. Some people didn't want to call him a generational talent because generation is like a guy like Wembanyama, and those guys only come like once every decade or 15 years. But the fact that he's doing what he's doing, and he's probably still going to be growing too. Remember, he's only 19. He could probably grow even more, maybe to 6'10", 6'11". We don't know. He's probably still growing. And we know he's definitely going to get stronger. And I love the way he attacks the basket, the way he plays hard on both ends. He had this drive to the rim against Dylan Brooks. He bullied him and slammed it on him and let the people know. I'm like, a teenager doing that, and he doesn't even have his grown man strength. Is scary to what the possibilities can be 4 or 5 years from now once he really grows into his body. And 4 or 5 years from now, he'll only be in his early mid-20s, only be 23, 24 years old. So think about the possibilities of how good he can be. And we can't neglect Colin Knippel. This guy's having a historic shooting season. He's on pace to break the rookie record for most threes made in a season, which Keegan Murray set a couple years ago with the Sacramento Kings. Colin Knippel is basically almost averaging 50, 40, 90 as a rookie. He has brought a new sense of hope for that Charlotte Hornets franchise. And this is a team that's vying for a playoff spot, and they look like a frisky playing team. They have been going on a win streak lately, and it's their longest win streak probably since 1999, last time I checked. They've been winning basketball games. Him, LaMelo Ball, and Brandon Miller, I feel like that trio is their foundational pieces for the next 5-10 years. Hopefully, LaMelo Ball can stay healthy and become more efficient as a scorer because they need him to be better if they want any chance at realistically winning in the near future. But Colin Knippel, this guy's looking like someone who is a better version of maybe Klay Thompson as a rookie. He reminds me of Klay Thompson and Devin Booker when they first came in because he has the creation ability off the dribble like a Devin Booker, and he could shoot just as good as a prime Klay Thompson. And Devin Booker's no slouch either from shooting the ball, so let me not neglect him. He's a bucket. Devin Booker is a bucket. Let me not get it wrong. But yeah, he's been a top 2 scoring option for this Hornets team. Defenses are trying to strategize and stop him, and he's still getting his shot off. Whether off the dribble, catch and shoot, you name it. Almost 50, 40, 90 as a rookie is insane. And it's not like he's just some rookie just spotting up and just hitting shots like that, and he's not generating his own offense. He is generating his own offense, and he's also playing within the flow of the offense, and he's just so efficient in the shot attempts that he's getting. That's something you don't really see often from a rookie. And he has blown away everybody's expectations of what we thought he was coming into the NBA out of Duke. So, yeah, the Rookie of the Year is, I think at this point, we might have to give co-Rookie of the Year because Colin Knippel has been a big impact player for a team that might make the playoffs in the Eastern Conference. And Cooper Flag, I know the Mavericks, they're not really vying for a playoff spot this year with Kyrie Irving out, and they just traded away Anthony Davis, which the front office basically saying Flag has shown that he's a transformative talent. We want to expedite this and build around him. So we're going to go with Flag. But man, what these two are doing, breaking records and setting the standard of what's to come in their careers, I think we need to have a co-Rookie of the Year conversation with Colin Knippel and Cooper Flag, like we did with Grant Hill and Jason Kidd in 94, 95. Because that was the last time we had 2 rookies win co-Rookie of the Years. We haven't had that since. This year it might be the exception. We might need to do it. Even though I have Cooper Flag winning this award, slightly though. Not very much. Not by much, excuse me. So, yeah, this is a very special class. Some good players. Ace Bailey's been doing his thing. He's Dylan Harper. I wish he got more minutes on the San Antonio Spurs. I think he'll be an all-star caliber player in the future. Edgecombe, like I said earlier, he started the season off high, kind of cooled off, but he's been an impactful player for the Sixers who are going to make the playoffs this season. Yeah, there's some good guys in this class, man. I think it's a really good class. And then next year's class is going to be even better. So, but yeah, I have Cooper Flag as my Rookie of the Year. I think Colin Knippel's on his heels, though. He's coming. But just by a hair, I give it the Flag. Sixth Man of the Year, I got Keldon Johnson. I don't really have anybody else for this award. I know you can say some other guys like A.J. Mitchell for the Thunder and things of that nature, but Keldon Johnson for San Antonio Spurs, this is a team that has had large success this year. I know because Wemby, Castle, De'Aaron Fox, and so forth, but you cannot speak about the Spurs' success without talking about Keldon Johnson. This is a guy who once was a starter and averaged over 22 points per game for this team. A few seasons ago, or last year, he became a bench guy coming off the bench. And he was even vying for Sixth Man of the Year last year if they had a better winning record. But they didn't. They didn't win or make the playoffs last year because Wemby's injury with his blood clot. Johnson is such a shapeshifter and a true energy guy for this team. Whatever you need him to do coming off the bench, he does it. If you need scoring off your bench and a spark, this is a guy that can provide that. I've seen him in big games, coming with big shots. He could rebound the basketball. I've seen him against those Thunder games where he was such a bully in the paint, rebounding in second chance opportunities. hitting corner shots, guarding a team's four-man sometimes because he has good, strong upper body, and he could guard threes, sometimes even fives at times, switching. This guy is amazing. He's an ultimate team player. He's averaging 13.5 points per game, 6 rebounds, and shooting 55% from the field and 38% from deep. He has his energy. I think he's one of those energy guys in the locker room for this team. I think he's the glue guy for this team. I think he's the one that keeps this team together, keeps them going, doesn't let them come complacent. And I think he's one of the true leaders on this team, along with De'Aaron Fox, who's a veteran on this team as well. Because Keldon Johnson, now, he's been in the league for a little while now. He's been in the league since, 2019? He's a veteran at this stage of his career. I feel like him and Fox are the leaders of this team, but he just makes that second unit go. There's no fall off in that second unit because he's one of the key guys coming in, making an impact on both ends of the court. And that's what I love about him. He put his ego to the side, sacrificed his numbers for the betterment of the team to help this team win. This is the San Antonio Spurs team that's on the verge of potentially being the number one seed in the Western Conference. They're currently riding a 6-game win streak as we're currently in the All-Star break. If they continue their winning ways, they could challenge the Thunder for that number one spot in the Western Conference. They have a legitimate chance to do that. And it's just scary to see how fast this Spurs team has built a roster around Wembanyama. And it's good that they've done that because he's a generational talent and you don't want to throw away those years with him potentially, how long he's going to be healthy for, because at his size, there's no guarantees. So you want to build a competent roster around him as soon as possible. And they have done that. We got to give them credit. So yeah, him, Keldon Johnson, he's my sixth man of the year. All right, most improved. This one was tough. There were some good candidates. Anthony Black of the Orlando Magic. Keontae George, he's my runner-up from the Utah Jazz. But I got to give it to Denny Avia from the Portland Trail Blazers. Nobody saw this coming. This guy was an afterthought in that Malcolm Brogdon trade. This guy last year on the Washington Wizards, he had a good second half stretch. He had a good second half stretch of the season, but he has catapulted his name into a new stratosphere. He has turned himself into a legitimate all-star. He's averaging career highs in points, averaging over 25 per game, and assists, averaging about 6.5 assists per game. He's increased his points per game from last year from 16.9 to 25.2, and assists from 3.9 to 6.6. He's one of three players this season averaging 25, 7, and 6 with a true shooting percentage of over 60. Only Nikola Jokic and Luka Doncic are doing that, and those guys are in the MVP conversation. Avia is carrying his Blazers team. Nobody saw coming. Nobody saw the Blazers being this good this year. With Lillard out, with injuries, this team has been more injured than any other team this year up to this point, midway through the season. And he has carried this team into a play-in spot. They're currently in the top 8, 9 seed in the Western Conference. I think they're in the 9th seed, if I'm not mistaken. And he's the large part of why they're there. He's handling the ball as a primary ball handler. He has the duties to have to initiate the offense, especially with Lillard out this year with a torn Achilles. He's going to have more of that responsibility. And he's been efficient, too. He's going to continue to get better as time goes on, as he continues to adjust to being a star. And I want to see how he does next year with Lillard coming back with less ball handling responsibilities and duties. I want to see how he plays with another star. But as of right now, this guy, to me, has been the catalyst for why the Blazers have been one of the most surprised teams in the league. So, yeah, it's been incredible to see. And then I also got to give a shout out to Keontae George. He's my runner-up. He was shooting under 40% from the field last year, and he was a high turnover rate player. And he was also not a good defender. And yes, we're back. Sorry, we had technical difficulties. Wi-Fi, what can you do about it? But back where I was speaking about with Keontae George, he's my runner-up. I had for most improved. He's basically averaging 24 per game. He's giving you 6.5 assists per game. He has taken his usage rate up this year, and he has been very efficient for a young player. He's still going to continuously get better. This was a guy, like I said earlier, he was one of the worst defenders in the league last year. And he was very inefficient. And now he's in an offense with the Utah Jazz. This is a tanking team, obviously. The team, they just got fined recently about tanking the Utah Jazz. But I think with him and the pieces they have with him and Laurie marketing, it's going to be a great team going forward. And they just require Jaren Jackson from the trade deadline. I think next year, this is a team going to be competing for the play-in spot, especially with his continuous improvement. If he takes his game to another level next year in terms of efficiency and things of that nature and who they get in the draft, it's going to be a very talented team coming next year. So watch out for the Utah Jazz. But yeah, he's my runner-up because I just think Avia has been even better, and he's going to be an All-NBA player this year, and he's going to probably get some MVP votes. So I got to give Avia the slight edge on most improved. And Anthony Black, he's also a guy from Orlando Magic. He's also in the most improved consideration. He had the craziest dunk I've ever seen. He went out in transition Orlando Magic against the Memphis Grizzlies earlier this year, and he dunked on 4 Grizzly defenders in traffic, slammed on all 4 of them. That was one of the greatest dunks I've ever seen, arguably the greatest dunk. That was insane. I was shocked he even finished that, but yeah. The next award I have, Defensive Player of the Year, Victor Wembanyama. This isn't really a question. This is perhaps the easiest choice for me in all of the awards that we're doing here. He is just the defensive anchor of everything the Spurs do. The Spurs have the 3rd best defensive rating in the league when he's on the court, and they rank in the bottom 6 or 7. I checked on NBA.com when he's off the floor. It is a despairing difference when he's on and off the floor. His defensive instincts are unparalleled. When he doesn't block, he alters. He could block shots at the 3-point line. He blocks shots in the mid-range. He can anchor your defense in the paint, block shot, get back, and be able to recover another man that they probably passed the ball to, and he somehow turns around and just blocks the shot like it's nothing. His quick reflex instincts are second to none. And he has great lateral mobility at his height. You can't teach that, man. That is God-given. This is why he's the league's best defender, because of his instincts on that side of the floor, his tenacity, his ability to utilize his length and his strides to his advantage. And he loves that end of the floor. He's by far the most valuable defensive player in the league. And it'll be a tragedy if he doesn't win Defensive Player of the Year 3 years into his career, because this is a guy we saw coming into the league that he could win 10 DPOYs if he really wants to. He could have won it and should have won his rookie year over Rudy Gobert, but they were too busy looking at the records of the teams, because the Timberwolves that year were the best team, arguably, in the Western Conference. Or I don't remember if they had the best record, but Rudy Gobert was engineering the best defense in the league. But Victor Wembanyama clearly was the best defensive player in the league. And the on and off numbers basically said that his rookie year. And then last year, he was clearly going to win it, but then he had the blood clot that sidelined him, and they gave it to Evan Mobley, whose numbers were nowhere near close, and his impact were nowhere near in the stratosphere of Wembanyama. But this year, hopefully he could meet the game minimum, which I think is kind of dumb. It's a 65-game minimum, in my opinion. You should be able to at least play, say you play 63 games. You tell me that player is now ineligible to win awards, or 60 games? Come on now, NBA. We got to get rid of that. Adam Silver, NBA Player Association, let's fix that. And let's get rid of it, because it's only done more harm than good. I know where your intentions were when you were doing it, but we need to stop penalizing these players who are out with severe, real injuries that are hurting their chances of garnering more awards, All-NBAs, and things of that nature. They're going to help their Hall of Fame case going forward once they retire. But yeah, Victor Wembanyama is my clear-cut Defensive Player of the Year. There really is no argument. I mean, my runner-up, if he doesn't win the award due to injury and he misses more games, is Chet Holmgren. He's engineering the number 1 defense in the league in the Oklahoma City Thunder. He's top 3 in blocks. He's been amazing, Chet Holmgren. So I just want to give him some love, but I think Victor Wembanyama has this in the bank. Coach of the Year, this was another tough one, but I'm going with JB Bickerstaff, the Detroit Pistons. This is a team last year that made the playoffs for the first time in 6 years. They have catapulted themselves into another level this year. They went from a team that was in a 6-7 seed last year to now they're a legitimate title contender. Some people might say they are. Some people might say they're not. This is a team that's number 1 in the Eastern Conference. They have the best record in the NBA as we speak right now at 40-13. Yes, over the OKC Thunder. They have the best record in the NBA. They have all-stars in Cade Cunningham and Jalen Duren. Jalen Duren has taken his game to the next level. JB Bickerstaff has put him in a position to succeed and has installed confidence in this team. They have a top 10 scoring offense. They're 3rd in points allowed, one of the best defenses in the entire NBA, 2nd best net rating in the NBA, behind only the Oklahoma City Thunder, and the 2nd best opponent scoring margin in the league. They play as a collective unit with enforcers on that defensive end and Isaiah Stewart in that paint. They just got suspended recently, and Jalen Duren. And they play together as a unit. Cade Cunningham recently said in All-Star Media Day that he would cover Stewart's fine for him if he wants him to. That's real brotherhood. That's a real team right there. And then when you have that, especially as your leader showing that type of leadership and saying he's willing to pay for one of his teammates' fines because of what he does and how he impacts the team, that's the group I want to play for. That's the team I want to go out and die for. I'm willing to go die for my teammates. That's what I love about this team. Then they got shooters to spread the floor. They just acquired Kevin Huerter during the trade deadline. And they have Duncan Robinson as well. They have key bench guys, Marcus Sasser. They have Dennis Jenkins. And they have a great wing defender in Asar Thompson. And then you have that franchise cornerstone Cunningham who initiates the offense and he makes everything go and click. I love the pieces this team has together for going for them. And this is a team I think could really make a run for the East Conference Finals. I don't think they'll make the NBA Finals. We'll see. I won't be surprised if they do. Don't get me wrong, because the East is wide open this year. It's not as strong as it's been in years past because the injuries to the Celtics with Jason Tatum. We'll see if he comes back. That's one of the biggest storylines in the second half of the season. And then we have Tyrese Halliburton, who's out for all this year due to the torn Achilles he suffered in Game 7 NBA Finals last year against Oklahoma City Thunder. But yeah, JB Bickerstaff is my coach of the year, the Detroit Pistons. He's been incredible for them. The Pistons coming to the season, nobody expected them to be this good. We knew they were going to be a playoff team, but nobody expected them to be number one seed in the East, best record in NBA type good this soon. Maybe next year, the year after, we expected them to make that type of jump, but to do it this early after just one playoff experience with this group of cast of characters, hey, that's pretty special. And we got to give JB Bickerstaff his flowers because he deserves it. He has installed discipline into his organization and has got them back to their winning ways since he became the head coach for this team last year. And then my runner-up is Mitch Johnson because what he's done with the Spurs team, when Wembanyama has missed time, and he missed some time this year, he doesn't even have a great cast of shooters on this team. 3-guard lineup he's been installing, but Fox, Castle, Harper, and he still has his team in the second best record in the Western Conference. He's had to play with different lineups. He's had to get creative, especially when Wemby was out. He's had Fox miss some time. He's had some injuries. He's had to adjust the strategy and the lineups. And they're still the top dog and one of the top dogs in a loaded Western Conference. And he has his team and these young guys playing collectively as a unit and as a team. And I love that, especially when you have Wemby, Castle, Fox, Harper, this young group. How they display the maturity is due to the leadership up top. And that's what Mitch Johnson displays. And he's a young coach. He fits their timeline. And I think he's going to be there for the foreseeable future. He's done a great job being the heir apparent to Greg Popovich, who carried the torch for a long time. And I want to give Mitch Johnson his props. He doesn't say much. He stays disciplined. He always tries to have creative strategies. This is a Spurs team that defeated the Thunder multiple times this year. They're the only team this season to do that. And they defeated them pretty handedly this year when they were at their full strength too, with SGA, J-Dub, and Chet there some of those games. So I want to give him his props because that's amazing to see. The Spurs are kind of like the Thunder from last year. Young team, now vying for title contention. Can they do it? I don't know. It really depends on how these young guys show up in the playoffs. Can Castle shoot better from deep? Can Vassell start getting his shooting touch and being consistent and stay healthy? He's been dealing with some injuries. Can Wemby take his game to another level offensively? We know how good he is defensively, but he has to be more consistent offensively in the playoffs and take his production offensively to the next level if they want to have a legitimate shot to win the title this year, which I think they do. So Mitch Johnson is my runner-up. I just want to give a slight edge to JB Bickerstaff because, man, when you look at that Pistons team, they're solid. But outside of Cade, there's no guy you really expect like, oh, this guy's going to be a superstar. This is really just Cade Cunningham, the franchise guy, with another kind of all-star big in Jalen Duren, and then some good role players around them. Nobody expected them to be this good. And they have the best record in NBA, even over the Thunder. So I got to give Bickerstaff the edge. So that's my Coach of the Year picks as of right now, midway through the season. And then lastly, the MVP. This is tough. But I give the slight edge to Shai Gilgeous-Alexander of the Oklahoma City Thunder. Runner-up, Nikola Jokic of the Denver Nuggets. And let me tell you why. Unfortunately, the 65-game limit is going to hurt Jokic here. He can only miss one more game, and I have a feeling he's going to miss maybe one or two more. By the time, we get to the later half of the season, they're probably going to rest Jokic, not play him as much or something like that. We'll see what happens, but knowing in the back of his mind, he's like, I got to play the rest of the games. And he did miss a month. And yes, he's come back. He's looked good, but he hasn't been as efficient. He's had a game where he had 9 turnovers recently. That wasn't the Jokic we saw before the injury. And he's having a historic season. Don't get me wrong. He's basically averaging a triple-double again. He recently passed Oscar Robertson for second most triple-doubles in NBA history. Incredible. To see a big man do that, who would ever thought a big man would be second all-time in triple-doubles? That shows and displays the evolution of the game of basketball. But I got to give it to Shai. Shai has maintained his dominance throughout the season. He's still averaging over 30 per game on over 50% shooting from the field. He is the prototypical guard of efficiency of the modern era. We haven't seen a guard this efficient, this consistently since Michael Jordan, man. And he's done this now for 4 consecutive seasons. Over 30 and 50% shooting from the field. They can't stop the man. He is also leading the league in win shares and offensive win shares. He's third in defensive win shares. Jokic does have him beat in some advanced stats. But when you look at this Thunder team, I know they have a great cast of characters. They're not the same without Shai. And Shai has carried, remember, J-Dub has missed a lot of time this season with his injuries, with his wrist, with his hamstring. He's been carrying this Thunder team on his back for most of the season. And the team still can't stop him. And most of the season, especially early in the first part of the season, they were still blowing out teams without J-Dub on the court. And sometimes even without Chet on the court. Shai barely misses games, and he's been a model of consistency and durability for most of his career. And he plays both ends. You can't stop the guy. You could do everything you can. Throw a 2, he's going to find a way. He's such a smart, high IQ player. I'm going to give the edge to Shai slightly because, and then the historic start they had to start the season 24-1. I thought they were on the verge of breaking the record. Unfortunately, they didn't. The Spurs kind of messed that up. And then, they started having injuries to J-Dub and Chet starting to have some injury. That kind of ruined their chances. And then they kind of lose some games they should have won. But maybe they'll get it one day. We'll see. But I got to give it to SGA. He's just incredible. You can't teach what he's doing. He just gets it done. Jokic, if he somehow plays 64 games, that's why I said the 65-game minimum, in my opinion, is stupid. He should still be considered eligible for awards. Jokic, if he doesn't miss any more time, it's going to be a tough race, especially right now. As I'm looking, the Denver Nuggets are third in the Western Conference. They've been struggling as of late a little bit, closing out games and stuff like that. But if Jokic somehow averages what he's averaging, and say the Nuggets finish top 3 in the West or number 2, it's going to be tough again. It's going to be a neck race between him and SGA once again. But yeah, I'm going to give the slight edge to SGA because I just think what he does on a night in, night out basis and how he's so efficient and how he doesn't seem to really ever have a bad game. Like, ever. And you just can't teach it, man. So, Jokic, I love him because he leads in like VORP. He leads in like offensive win. Like he's incredible. Jokic is otherworldly. I think he leads the NBA in PER as well. You can't teach this, man. But SGA is that dude. So I'm gonna give my MVP vote as of right now to SGA slightly. MVP is very close. Coach of the Year is very close. Rookie of the Year is very close. Very, very close awards. But Defense Player of the Year, like I said, Victor Wembanyama. Yeah. So I'm going to give you guys my rundown of who I picked for each award, just so before we close out the show. Rookie of the Year, I have Cooper Flagg. Sixth Man of the Year, Keldon Johnson. Most Improved, Denny Avia. Defense Player of the Year, Victor Wembanyama. Coach of the Year, JB Bickerstaff. And MVP, SGA. As of right now, midseason. But yeah, ladies and gentlemen, as we approach the second half of the NBA season, I want to know what you guys think. What are some of the things you guys are looking forward to in the second half of the season as we gear up for this playoff push now for teams and which teams are going to vie for the number 1 pick in a loaded 2026 NBA draft? Let me know in the comment section below where you're looking forward to most this season, in the second half of the season, excuse me. But yeah, ladies and gentlemen, sorry about the internet issues earlier. We're trying to continue to get better, getting these reps in and things of that nature. But hope you guys enjoyed this episode of my midseason award picks. I'm your host, DJ Hamilton, DJ Sports Show. Make sure you guys Feel free to leave a like and subscribe on YouTube, and also leave a rating on audio platforms. But yeah, I'm your host, DJ Hamilton, DJ Sports Show, and I hope you guys have a great rest of your Sunday. Have a great day, everybody. Peace.